it's Dusti Martin with the Martin Group at Platinum Living Realty, dropping in to give you your monthly market update and year-end recap for Paradise Valley for 2022. It's currently January 17th. Buckle up, hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor, get comfortable because we are going to dive a little deeper than normal. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Our active listings are actually up 29.1% over this time last year. That's actually not a lot in comparison to the rest of the valley. Our sold listings, though, are down over 47% over this time last year. Normally in December, we actually see inventory decrease. And this was one of the few times where we actually saw more come on the market. But then on the other hand, a lot of places around the valley are up hundreds of percents over where they were last year. And yet here's Paradise Valley only at 29% over number of active listings than we had last year. Granted, we had more come on the market, but not as much as everybody else, which is kind of surprising to me. And like I said, our sold listings are down 47% over this time last year. Last year, we had about 53 sales. This year, we only had 28 in December. However, when you think about it, with the way interest rates dropped crazy historically low to almost nothing, that put a lot of people into the million or multi-million dollar price range, the luxury price range that is Paradise Valley, when they wouldn't have normally been under normal historical circumstances. So interest rates going back up to a more historical average, a historical norm, if you will. And I know we've had, several years of very low interest rates here when you talk about mortgages and all of that. And we thought 6% was low, and then it went to 5%, and then it went to 4%, and then we were all freaking out. We said, surely it can't get any lower. And then it did. It went down to 3% and even the high 2s. So when you're going back up to a more historical norm or average, and historically speaking nationwide, the average mortgage rate for as long as we've been doing mortgages is about 7.7%. So once we hit that, 7%, now we're back down in the 6s, low 6s, and for some people even down in the 5s. When you look at it that way, you're kind of weeding out a lot of people who wouldn't have normally been a buyer in our market before. And our median price per square foot, contrary to a lot of the rest of the valley, is up a lot, 28.1% over this time last year, sitting at a median price per square foot of over $659, almost $660 per square foot in Paradise Valley, where last year we were at just over $515 a square foot. So going up 28% when there are places around the valley, take Buckeye, for example. Buckeye lost 4% year over year this past year. And so when you're looking at other locations, or even Scottsdale, for example, they lost 0.8% or almost 1% of their home value year over year overall. So when you're looking at Paradise Valley, which granted is only one zip code, but when you're looking at that and we're having double-digit appreciation, that tells us that Paradise Valley is still the place to be. It is still the place where the high-end clients and the big whales and the big players really come to buy their second, third, fourth home. And it's really the go-to place in the valley if you want to live a luxury lifestyle. And so with that said, that means if you are looking for a home that is going to maintain its value better than maybe some other locations around Maricopa County, Paradise Valley might be a very good bet when it comes to making a long-term play for your investment. Our months of supply, though, don't let all the rest of that fool you, is still up over 144% over this time last year, currently sitting at just over 5 months worth of inventory. 5 months worth of inventory is not a buyer's market. It is not a seller's market. It's very close to being an even stable market that really does not benefit one or the other over the opposite. And so it's not a bad place to be, especially when you consider how many high-end homes we have in Paradise Valley. Typically, the very high-end homes, more often than not in Maricopa County, tend to be in a buyer's market. And so the last 2 years, we've had this really accelerated, pronounced hyper seller's market. And for us to still, after everything that's going on with the market fluctuating, with mortgage rates stabilizing, with the economy kind of going back to where it was in 2018, 19, with all that said, it could be a lot worse. So the sky's not falling necessarily. And like I said, Paradise Valley is still a really great investment compared to other locations in the valley. Then our median days on market, here's the kicker with our months of supply being up, our median days on market is actually down 1.8%, meaning they are selling about a day faster than they would have this time last year, which tells us, it's only about a day. But it tells us if the home is priced appropriately for the market it's in, then that means it will sell quickly. It takes about 30 days to close a loan. We're sitting at about 54 days. That's 24 days on the market, 30 days to close. So in 3 or 4 weeks, if you haven't gotten that traffic and you know without a doubt that it is marketed appropriately, and by marketed, I don't mean just fancy photos and put in the MLS. I mean like high level, very strategic, targeted marketing with knowing if all of that is going on and you're not getting those showings, you are not priced appropriately. So keep that in mind. So now we're going to take a break and we're going to go and we're going to look at our months of supply by price point. And we are going to drop all the way down to the $300,000 to $500,000 price range. Anything lower, there's only one home available and it didn't sell. We don't know if it came on at the end of the market and maybe it's in escrow now. We're not sure. However, there is no data because there is no inventory below this price point. So in the $300,000 to $500,000 price range, there was only 5 homes, 3 of them sold. That left us 1.67 months of supply. That is a really, really, really hot seller's market. If you are in that price range, you should be expecting to have multiple offers to contend with it as a buyer or to deal with and sort through as a seller. You will probably not be getting a whole lot of repairs and closing costs of that sort. Keep that in mind. So if you're a buyer in that price range in Paradise Valley, you need to make sure that you are going in with your eyes wide open and that you come to win because you are going to have a lot of other people to contend with. Then we're going to drop down. We are going to skip the $500,000 to $700,000 price range and the $700,000 to $1 million. Not because there's no inventory. However, there's not a lot. There's only 6 homes in that price range, but none of them sold. So we don't know if these are gut jobs or maybe homes that are better suited for an investor. We're not real sure, but none of them sold. Maybe next month somebody will have picked them up and then we'll have some numbers to crunch. Then we're going to go all the way down to the $1 to $3 million price range. This is entry level now in Paradise Valley. If you've been watching this for as long as I've been doing it, probably going on 2 years now, 3 years, I think this is the 3rd year. If you've been watching these Paradise Valley stats, you've watched us steadily creep to an average entry point of $1 million in Paradise Valley. In fact, in some cases, even as early as 2020, it was getting hard to get any property under $900,000. So keep that in mind. So then if we're looking at our 1 to 3 million, we're at 1.92 months of supply. That is a very strong seller's market. Again, you should be looking at probably having multiple offers. I would not, if I were you, be trying to wheel and deal in this price range in Paradise Valley right now. That may change, especially after the Super Bowl's over. And I'd say once tax day has come and gone, that will probably stop unless we see interest rates continue to go down like they have the last few weeks. Our $3 million plus price range is very different right now. It is currently sitting at 8.23 months of supply. In other words, it is a buyer's market. If you are a seller, you better have the best priced property on the neighborhood. It better be the prettiest girl on the block, and you cannot expect for buyers to want to roll over and give you all their money. In fact, you may not even get a list price offer, even if it's priced appropriately. Why? Because buyers have 107 other properties to choose from. So when you've got over 100 on the market and in any given month, 13 are selling, that means you've got to beat out 8 other homes. 8 other homes are competing for the same buyer that you are trying to snag for yourself. Keep that in mind. If you have any questions or you're wondering what your home would sell for in today's market, or if you're looking to buy a home in Paradise Valley and you want to know what your price range and neighborhood that you have in mind would look like for you to submit an offer, go ahead and give me a call at 480-717-9405 or visit my website at dustymartinrealtor.com.